Here we go. It's July 18th, about 11:27 a.m. Here we are. Here we are. Well, drinking my coffee. All right, Thor, Love and Thunder spoiler talk, review, whatever it may be right now. So, essentially, I did my review. Said I didn't like it. Okay. I said I hated it, but hate is a strong word, so I will just rephrase that and say I wasn't a fan and didn't like it. It does have its moments. I laughed, I chuckled at some stuff, and some stuff I did really like in the film. Um, for instance, here we go. Natalie Portman. The whole aspect of that love, I like that in the film with how she has stage 4 cancer, she's dying, you know, her hammers bring her back to life, but every time she uses it, she essentially gets sicker. I like that aspect. It's, you know, it was kind of hit home to me a little bit, just because of what family stuff and whatnot, and I've experienced in my life, so I've dealt with that, and yeah, I mean, I like that aspect of the whole story. But I think the biggest problem I have is with the tone of the film. It just like, it starts off and it's like funny, and it just keeps being funny. And then there's like, you know, we have Christian Bale who's out there just murking fools, murking gods, you know what I mean? And it really never takes it serious. So at a certain point, I'm like, all right, his character is very like serious, you know, destroying all these gods. But at the same time, it's like almost comical because no one's taking him serious. And then he takes the kids, and then it's like, oh, it's serious now, but it's still funny. So it's like, it's hard for me to like justify to watch that film again and be like, oh, it's enjoyable because like I can take this serious and I feel a real threat. Like I feel like Christian Bale as Gore was underutilized as a character. I feel like, and also a big problem I had with the film was I feel like it was so goddamn choppy. Now, like, I feel like I can't remember what scene it was because I haven't seen it in a few weeks or whatever, or since last week. A few weeks. Wow, my memory's so bad. But I feel like there was a scene that I was watching, and then it cuts to a totally different thing, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I just feel like something's missing here. Like, it just didn't flow well. I think it's when they're going to that planet to fight Gore, I believe. The scene before that, to that scene, I felt like something was missing. Like, I just felt like there was some type of, like, path they took or something. I don't know. It just, everything seemed like a shortcut to get where they're going. And I don't like that in films. It was too easy and too, like, just there available for them to, excuse me, to get there in their path. And my biggest thing I did not like about this film was Zeus. I didn't like Zeus at all. I appreciate Russell Crowe as Zeus for what he did. He tried to do the comic aspect of it, but he's just like a drunk Greek god. You know what I mean? So I get it if that's the take on it. I just wasn't a fan of it personally. I'm very much so into like the mythologies and stuff like that. So like, I portray Zeus as a stronger figure. So for me, it didn't hit with me. I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, it was funny at a certain point when he's like talking about the orgies and stuff like that. But with Zeus, I wanted a little bit more like, you know, pop in him. Like, I wanted to feel a little bit more fear. But I think that's with everything. That is my biggest problem with Marvel and Disney is like any villain that we have, I feel like, except Thanos, it's like, and that's even in part 1, like you know, the Infinity, whatever it was called. I can't even remember right now. Excuse me. Maybe I'm getting sick. COVID? Who knows? But I feel like Disney's villains are kind of lackluster. The way they portray them. It's not even a Marvel thing. It's more of a Disney thing. And I mean, that is what it is. I don't think that'll ever be corrected. That's why I will stand by DC. I will be biased towards DC. And I will just be all about that moving forward. It's like I've always been. Like, I love the Batman and stuff like that. But on to Zeus. Anyway, Zeus, Russell Crowe, you know, kind of a fucking douchebag, whatnot, and really wasn't a fan. He kind of just talks about orgies, and he's like, oh, you know, and then he gets in some dialogue with Chris Hemsworth, as Thor, and he's talking about, oh, like, we don't fear this guy, we don't speak of him, there's no way he can get here, blah, blah, blah. They get into a little battle, throws his little thunderbolt thing, blah, blah, blah. Thor catches it, starts killing people. He gets a thunderbolt, thinks that's the way to beat Christian Bale. So I'm not going to refer to them as character names because I'm like scatterbrained right now. I'm still waking up. Now, something else. Why I said this film was made for kids. Now, definitely at one point towards the end, this one, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I'm not going in like order of the film, but I'm just going to talk about stuff I didn't like more so than the stuff that I liked. Because I start off with the Natalie Portman thing. And I'm just rambling here at this point, but whatever. But towards the end, so he's going to fight Gore at what? I don't even know where they were at. I would have to look that up. The God Butcher. I can't remember exactly. He was saving the kids in that like realm. The other realm they were in, I think it was. I believe. I can't remember exactly, but it's another realm. Then he gets the kids, right? And the kids are like scared shitless. These kids are like, oh my God, there's like these shadow creatures coming, and like he's like opening up that doorway to get wherever. I forgot where he's trying to go. It doesn't even matter to me anymore, honestly. But he's going to the little portal to get this is like a drunk review almost. I'm not even drunk. Goes to another portal, blah, blah, blah. Opening up with fucking Mjolnir or whatever. Fucking whatever. Shadow monsters coming to get Thor and the kids, right? So Thor, fucking almighty Thor, gives his powers to the kids. Who are scared shitless. Who were scared shitless, literally like 10 seconds prior, gives them his powers. And then the kids just become absolute, like, gods. Doing, like, fucking backflips, chopping heads off and shit. I thought this was fucking hilarious. I was just, like, I just had to, like, I did one of those things. I wasn't even next to someone right now. I was just, like, you know how you, like, slowly pan and you're, like, looking at someone? You're just, like, that's exactly what I did. This is my face. When that happened, I was just, like, yeah. That's what I did during that scene. I thought it was stupid. I mean, I get it. It's a Disney movie, but for me, did not like that. It was comical to me. I laughed. That might have been the funniest thing in the movie to me, honestly. Was that whole scene. I laughed my ass off. I was just like, bruh, come on now. And I mean, the film's predictable, you know. It's not like a trilogy, it's just one film. Excuse me, I just totally burped, but I mean, I wanted more Christian Bale, I think. I think that's the problem that this film had. It was a lack of Christian Bale playing the God Butcher. There could have been so much more with that. And I felt like it was underutilized a little bit. I just like darker films, man. I like, like Brightburn. I fucking loved Brightburn. I just like movies that don't end well. I think that's my issue. So I'm a hater. I can confess to that I am a hater, I guess, towards DC and Marvel. Or not DC, fucking Disney and Marvel. Shit. DC I love. But they can go the darker route because they have the access to that. Because, they got Warner Brothers and fucking Disney is Disney. I don't think Disney will ever change. That's the one problem I have with the Star Wars movies as well is it's Disney cliche bullshit, man. It's tough for me to watch Disney films these days, I think. As a human, as I know what I like, as you get older, you know what you like, you know what you love. But yeah, that scene where the kids fucking get Thor's powers become gods, and he builds a little army out of them. It's cute. It's cute for the kids, but like for me, like single 32-year-old male, I'm kind of just like, bruh, this is dumb. I mean, you make a kid dream. I guess if I was younger, I'd be like, oh, that's so cool or whatever. But at a certain point, I was just like, whatever. So portal opens, kids kill the shadow guys, Thor follows this dude in there, Natalie Portman shows up, fucking beats the shit out of the God Butcher with Thor or whatever. But then that's like the last final thing that she had with her hammer, like she used her last, like, you know, energy source, so now she's gonna die after that. So there's a moment at the end where Thor is holding Natalie Portman, and then the God Butcher is with his daughter because his daughter dies at the beginning of the film. Sorry, I'm just all over the place with this spoiler. But anyways, they're both like holding each other, or no, Gore's about to die, and like he can come back to life or some shit. I forgot what, like, whatever happens. He can like save a life or something like that. So he decides to bring his daughter back instead of become like an evil god or whatever the fucking viable source is. And then he brings his daughter back. And then his daughter's like with Thor now. And then Natalie Portman dies because she, you know, dies of cancer. And then she goes to Asgard in the post-credit scene. And then Thor now has a daughter, which is an actual daughter, I believe. I think that's what I heard, at least. Has an actual daughter, and now they're just like a fucking tag team champions of the world now. Towards the end, they're like taking on, like, you know, evil powers of different worlds and planets and shit like that to help save other good planets and whatnot. And the film ends. So I mean, I know that was like probably the worst fucking spoiler. I'm all over the place, and I'm sure I'm forgetting shit. I'm gonna pull up I'm gonna look at like some shit real quick before I, you know, trying to think who was underutilized here. I like Valkyrie a lot in the movie, honestly. I fucking find her so beautiful. But yeah, she was kind of not even used like I wanted her to be used and whatnot. What's going on here? What else we got? I'm trying to look at the cast. But yes, I feel like the Rock guy, I forgot his name. What the fuck is the Rock guy's name? Korg, man. I feel like he was not used the way I want him to be used. But hey, it is what it is. And the Guardians of the Galaxy are in the beginning of the movie. They're there for like 10 minutes. And they're not even, it's more of just like standing there, not really fighting. They fight a little bit, but Thor does some shit and is what it is. But I would have liked to see more of that a little bit, more like dynamic. It was more of a comedic aspect of things, I guess. But yeah, I mean, sitting back, I would still be okay if I didn't see this film, honestly. I would be okay with it. It's enjoyable, but like for me, like it's not like, oh my god. Like when I saw the Batman, I was like, dude, this shit hits home. Like this shit claps my cheeks, you know? Thor Love and Thunder didn't clap my cheeks. I want my cheeks clapped. LOL, I'm JK. But you know what I mean. But yeah, essentially, parts I didn't like: Zeus, the kids getting the powers. Comic to me, it was just too funny at a certain point with the Zeus shit, and then the kids. I like the Natalie Portman aspect of things. I wish there was a little bit more of that, a little more development in that. And then, you know, Korg wasn't really used. The Guardians of the Galaxy really weren't used. Valkyrie really wasn't used. Christian Bale really wasn't used. So I just feel like there's a lot of there's a lot of stories within stories here that could have been utilized. But like I said, I felt like the movie was super choppy and shit was cut out. So that's my spoiler review. I hope y'all have a good day. Take care. Deuces.